Ever since I came to Houston a month ago, I've been looking for her. I turned the town upside down, but nobody knew her. Nobody even heard the name Carrie Hepper before. The girl can't just disappear into thin air, not just like that. Gee, I hope it isn't her. I wouldn't want to find her this way.
This is it. Bring her in, Harry. What about this Hepper girl?
I knew in Oklahoma City she was a dancer, chorus girl.
Age?
Oh, 24, 25. She never said.
All right, Duncan.
Yeah, it's her. It's Carrie Hepper. What happened?
Suicide. There's some questions you'll have to answer.
Crazy thing for her to do.
Yeah. Out of all the docks in the world to jump off, she had to pick Houston.
Hi, Lou. Clara.
Hi, Frank.
You're late, but there's still some dinner on the stove.
I had a sandwich a little while ago. Now you got a lot of work to do tonight.
I can't get over it. Angelo losing on a TKO in the sixth.
Everybody's worrying about H-bombs. He worries about Angelo.
A cut eye. In the old days, they never stopped to fight for a cut eye. The man that you just slap enough glue on a fighter to hold him together, send him back again.
I see you left your cab out front.
Yeah, I want to get an early start in the morning. Saturday's a good day.
Say, what time's that kid down the corner get the morning papers in?
Anytime now, I guess. You don't read them early editions.
Oh, I got paid today. Better take your rent money while I still have it. Be back in a while.
Give me. Where'd Frank go?
Papers?
You hear him? He's gonna work again tonight. Always working. And thinking. He uses his head. He's gonna get someplace.
Frank's smarter than me. Is that what you're saying?
Almost every night he works on those diagrams and maps. All you got on your mind is Angelo.
You starting again?
What's the matter? The truth bother you? You're not going any place that cab won't take you.
We eat, don't we?
That's a good reason for living. Ready for you, so's you can work.
Thanks, Clara.
Get the morning paper?
No, they hadn't come out yet. What are you doing tomorrow, Clara?
Going sailing on my yacht.
How'd you like to buy yourself a new dress?
Fine. All next week we can eat the buttons off it.
No, look, I won $25 in a poker game at the field with the boys. It's all yours.
What gives? Look, Frankie, just because we've known each other since we're kids.
2 weeks ago was Clara's birthday. I was broke then. Now I'm not.
Hey, what are you trying to do? Talk me out of a birthday present? You can even come shopping with me.
No, thanks. I figured since you'd be out all day tomorrow, I'd be able to put a full day in on this and finish it.
Thanks, Frank. The house will be all yours.
For $25, I'd have fixed the table up for you myself.
You Frank Duncan?
What can I do for you?
Maybe we could talk.
What about?
Carrie Hemper.
Why didn't she come? I want to talk to her, nobody else.
Carrie's dead. You said so yourself, right in the papers. You like talking to dead people? You got some marbles missing, friend.
You have some teeth missing. You don't tell her I want to talk to her, not a messenger boy.
You said that stiff in the morgue was Carrie Hemper. Why'd you do it? You should have done that, friend. Because I got orders not to mess you up.
Tell her to call me here.
You know, I hope they change their mind about those orders.
You mean just like that it happened? All the work you did, all the time it took, and in one little second, the phone rings, somebody says okay, and you're a millionaire.
Nobody said okay yet, Louis. But they could. And the phone did ring. That's the important thing. It rang.
Well, why Galveston? Why would they want you down there?
Well, the sooner we get there, the sooner we'll find out.
Okay, fasten your seatbelt. We're flying low the next 40 miles.
Put the blame on Maine, boys. Put the blame on Maine. Mame kissed a buyer from out of town, and that kiss burned Chicago down. Put the blame on Maine, boys. Put the blame on Maine. They had the earthquake in San Francisco back in 1906. They said that old Mother Nature was up to her old tricks. That's the story that went around, but here's the real lowdown. Put the blame on Maine, boys. Put the blame on Maine. One night she started to shim and shake, and that brought on the Frisco quake. So you can put the blame on Maine, boys. Put the blame on Maine, boys. Put the blame on Maine, boys. Put the blame on Maine.
Let's go, Duncan. This is the man, Mr. Shea.
I want Carrie Hemper alive, not dead.
It's open.
Here he is, so. The guy that killed off Carrie Hemper for you.
What's a pitch, Buster?
I'll ask you one. Why is it bothering you so much?
Carrie's my grandmother.
You don't say.
What's the matter? Haven't you ever seen a leg before?
Not one that belonged to Carrie Hemper. Joe told me about the birthmark.
Joe?
Joe Hemper. We were friends. We worked together in the Oklahoma fields.
He always was gonna hit it big. What'd he do, strike oil?
Yeah, with his head. He fell off a derrick and landed on his face. He's dead.
Poor sucker. He probably didn't even have enough money for a decent funeral.
I saw to it.
That's nice of you, Duncan. Oh, that's why you came here to find me, hmm?
Yeah, I figured from what he told me about you, you'd be glad to hear you're a widow.
What do you mean, glad?
Having a husband probably slowed you down some. Joe hated you, Carrie. He hated you good. You always wanted to be where the big money was. Joe never got there. Just because you were smarter than he was, you couldn't expect that he wouldn't get sore at you when you ran out on him.
That the end of the story?
Almost. Except Joe wanted to give you something before he died.
How's that?
Joe wanted me to use both hands, but you're the kind that bruises easily. But there was nothing personal in that slap. It had nothing to do with me. You just can't refuse a dying man's last wish, that's all.
Let go of me. You didn't do that whole morgue bit just to come here and hit me.
You always think that fast?
What do you want?
One thing. Joe told me you were connected with the big mob boys. I want to get to Paulie Atlas.
Gordy? This joker wants to get to Paulie Atlas.
Mr. Duncan, I think you're a little confused.
Is that so?
I'm Gordy Shea, the manager. Now, somehow you seem to think we have a lot of answers here, like on a television quiz program.
It's called What's My Racket?
Oh, we don't book comedians here, Mr. Duncan.
You'd book a Salvation Army band if you thought they could make you $5 million a year.
You did say 5 million.
Distinctly. But this is one comic who'll only tell his jokes to Paulie Atlas.
Well, now maybe I could learn to laugh just as loud.
No, you run a nightclub, Mr. Shea. You don't want to have anything to do with me. I need financing, not the kind that comes from banks.
$5 million, it's a lot of money.
Not in Texas. I'll get to Atlas without you. And maybe he won't think you're so smart when he finds you passed up a good deal.
No, I'll call you tomorrow. Meanwhile, I'll see if I can't find Mr. Atlas's number in the phone book.
Mr. Atlas is by the pool, Mr. Shea.
Atlas does all right for himself.
He should do even better with you around, huh? Come on.
It's the funniest story I ever heard. Oh, well, here comes Gordy. You know, you're working too hard. You should have come over sooner. Well, that girl. He's always with that girl.
You better wait here a minute.
Having big dreams?
You say the word and I can make them better.
You always operate so fast.
I never operate without taking a few x-rays first.
Oh, Doc Duncan. The man with the x-ray eyes that sees right through everything.
You don't hide so much.
Would you excuse us, please? You okay?
You find out for yourself, huh?
Well, come on over. Come over and have some refreshments. We'll drink or something. It's nice to see you, Mr. Duncan. It's a nice party. Gordy should have brought you over sooner.
Thank you. When you know you're seeing the right man, it's never too long.
And you know the right thing to say. It's very important, Gordy. Very.
I'm sure it is.
Do you know the right things to say about that proposition you have?
Where can we talk?
Oh, my study's rather pleasant.
Alone.
No. The three of us. My dear, you'll excuse us, I'm sure, won't you? You've been here enough times to enjoy yourself and have fun. Would you excuse us? This way, gentlemen.
Well, there it is, Mr. Atlas. That's the whole thing. Every move laid out to the last detail. The racket's been right under your noses, and you didn't see it.
Well, it's good, Mr. Duncan. It's an ingenious thing. Stolen oil right from the oil fields. But what are we going to do with the oil after we've stolen it?
There are half a dozen independent distributors in this country who'll grab at it right now without asking any questions. And if we want, a half dozen countries who'll buy it without any questions.
It's big, Gordy. Real big.
I'll tell you another thing. I've lined up 20 foremen right now who can be bought. They won't be looking when we tie into their oil lines with our lines. 30% of their oil production will go into our tanks. I've studied the layout of every pipeline and storage tank in 3 of the 11 Houston fields. And when we feel that we're ready to spread out, we'll move into the other 8. Now, if we do that, we'll go over $5 million net profit a year.
You can do all this.
They can start it rolling tomorrow.
Well, it's very good, Mr. Duncan, but it seems to me I'd be a bit worried for fear that we might just do it ourselves and count you out.
I went to a lot of trouble getting to you, Mr. Atlas.
Oh, you mean the incident in the morgue, eh? That was a delightful thing, wasn't it, Gordy? Huh?
Hilarious.
No, I'd always heard that Paul Atlas deals square with anyone who deals square with him.
I'm a gambler. If people don't respect my integrity, they don't play with me.
That's why I came to you, Mr. Atlas. Besides, you couldn't handle it without first getting an oilman who knew the fields from the bottom up. That's why I thought Frank Duncan could handle it as well as anyone else.
Yeah, surely. Is there anything else you think we should know?
One important thing to keep us in the clear. We must form a dummy corporation as a front.
I see.
With a man at the top who can sign papers so that if anything goes wrong, I don't take the rap, and neither do you.
Mm-hmm. Well, have you such a man in mind?
Yes, I do. Nice guy, not too smart. His name's Louis Phelan.
Louis Phelan. Mm-hmm. He thinks of everything, doesn't he? Would you trust me with those papers, say, for about a week?
Sure.
Fine. You'll have your answer a week from today. Now, the boys will drive you back to Houston. And thank you for coming. Goodbye.
Thank you.
I don't like him.
He's a pretty outspoken young man. But he's got something, Gordy. Something I think the boys in St. Louis will like.
Yeah, if it works.
Do you know what it would mean if we could bring $5 million into the combine a year? Emil Constant might increase my territory. Might even let me expand into Reno or Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm. You gonna cut Duncan in?
Well, he's a pretty smart boy. He knows oil. We don't. But we can learn. And as soon as we learn everything that he knows, we won't need him anymore.
Well, that sounds better.
Oh, don't be silly. I brought you up from a pup. Do you think I'd let anybody move in on you? Come on, get your things. We're leaving for St. Louis in the morning.
Clara, where's Louis?
Asleep. I went to a movie. When I got home, he was already in bed. What's the matter?
I think I got my deal.
Deal?
Well, you know all the work I've been doing, new way of drilling oil, but I needed financing.
And you got it?
I think so.
glad for you, Frank. Real glad.
Thanks, Clara.
Frank,
Yeah?
Louis has a good head on his shoulders.
Well, who says no?
He hasn't always driven a cab. He has brains. Maybe they're a little undeveloped. But if he had a chance,
He'll get his chance.
maybe he might. Frank, if you could get him a spot with you.
You know how I feel about Louis. If he only knew a little something about oil. Good night, Clara.
You gonna eat today or play tag with Madge in the kitchen?
Watch your language, boy. He's talking about one of the women I love.
Get a load of that perfume on Madge.
Sure smells better than those oil wells.
Why don't you try one of our steaks? They're more tender. Hi, Ruby.
I used to be single once.
You guys go ahead and order.
I knew this was going to be one of my good days.
Nothing like having dessert first.
Coming over tonight?
Yeah, I'll tell Louis not to wait up for me.
You better go back out front.
Hello, King's Arms? This is Mr. Franklin. Mr. Shea told me to call him today about his insurance. Oh, he won't be back for a few days. He went out of town. I see, thanks. Yeah, I'll call again.
Nobody else gets back in that kitchen with Madge.
That kitchen separates the men from the boys, pal.
Okay, fellas, what are you going to have?
Hey, honey, sit down.
Yeah.
Hey, look, something just came up. It may be a break for me.
Yeah?
Would you give me a rain check for tonight?
A break?
Yeah.
Well, sure, Frankie. Look, I'm just the kid who wants to see you go places. As long as I go with you.
You're my girl.
Okay, you got a big fat rain check.
I've got nothing on tonight.
Yeah, and a guy can catch cold that way.
Hey, thanks, honey. I'll call you. Huh?
Sure. Okay, fellas, come on. What are you going to have?
Spaghetti and meatballs.
Spaghetti and
Pork
meatballs.
chops.
I know what you want. Okay.
What are you doing here?
The door was open, nobody was around, and I've got the natural instincts of a house detective.
A peeping Tom, you mean? What's the matter? All the girls in Houston busy?
How do you keep a chip on those lovely round shoulders?
Adhesive tape. What do you want? So?
You didn't think Joe was good enough for you, and I don't think Shay's good enough for you.
You think you are?
There's one thing that makes us hit it off even.
What's that?
Money. More than Shay ever saw in his whole life.
Go on. You interest me strangely.
By the time Atlas and Shay get back into town, Shay's gonna be on his way to being an office boy.
What are you trying to do? Write your own death certificate?
You're not gonna say anything to anybody because you know it's right.
Is this deal of yours really so hot?
You saw the way Atlas and Shay got off their deck chairs in a hurry, didn't you?
Faster than I've ever seen them before.
You gonna stand in the way of progress?
still have another show to do.
I'll be out front watching you. I wouldn't want to miss looking at you for a minute.
Atlas said you knew all the right things to say.
Did Atlas go out of town? Orders from the big boss?
In St. Louis.
Then he isn't top man.
Better be careful of Gordy, Frank. He can be dangerous.
Oh, with you watching out for me, how can I miss?
He broke in, Chris. I couldn't stop.
No Shay's orders. No guy messes around with you. Let's get him out the back way.
Frank. Oh, Frank, what happened? Oh, never mind. Never mind as long as you come to me whenever you're in trouble.
It got to me once. But it'll never happen again.
Sure, hon.
Our stock and debenture investments are solid. These give me no concern. As for our other legal holdings, real estate, insurance companies, cleaning and dyeing plants, and so forth, they're showing steady, if not sensational, profits. Now for our other holdings. Spyro, the books and numbers in your territory have fallen below last month's take by 8%.
I'm sorry, sir, but business is bad all over. We've tried to boost it by putting more pressure on our model agencies and escort bureaus.
If you don't boost your take within 30 days, I'm afraid the Combine will have to look for a new man.
Yes, sir.
And that goes for the rest of you. You've all dropped from 3 to 6%. At least Paulie Atlas here has enough incentive to look for new ways to bolster the take in his territory. Go ahead with the plans of this Frank Duncan, Paul. Bring him into the organization.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Constant. We'll only need Duncan for a short while. When we take over control, we'll get rid of him and then eliminate his cut.
Kill a man who can make us $5 million a year? Atlas, either you've never forgotten your Capone days or you're a bad businessman. There's to be no killing, do you understand? And no violence if we possibly can avoid it. Is that clear?
Yes, but this Duncan fellow...
Whatever he is, we need him. Well, what are you afraid of, Gordy Shay? If a better man than Shay comes along, then that's it. It's up to Shay to earn his spot.
All right, now, just a minute, Mr.
I'm not asking you to talk, Shay. The meeting is over. We'll continue tomorrow. And perhaps the rest of you can come up with something as good as this oil deal.
You heard what Constant said. Nothing happens to Duncan. Right now, he's the fair-haired boy. But sometimes things grow hot and cold. Meantime, we'll keep our eyes open. And remember, I'm right in back of you.
I don't like these slow times of day when no customers are around.
Nothing's wrong with relaxing.
Gives you too much time to think.
Nothing's wrong with thinking.
Sometimes there is. Here.
Thanks.
We've had a lot of laughs, haven't we, Frank?
Our share.
Only things aren't so funny now. I love you too much.
Don't knock it.
You know, it used to be whenever you touched me, I went weak all over. Now it's like living in the middle of nowhere when you're not around.
You starting to think about those little vine-covered cottages?
Don't knock it.
Now, three's a crowd, honey. I don't like the idea of a mortgage sitting down with us every time we eat. We always said life's for laughs. That's all. Gotta get all the laughs we can while we can still breathe.
Is that the way it has to be?
Now, maybe you're right, hon. These slow times today are bad for you.
It's a customer.
I'll let him wait.
No.
The men at the well said I could find Frank Duncan here. Frank?
What do you want?
Acts like we're married, doesn't he? I have a message for you. The boys get in tonight in about 4 hours, and I'm supposed to take you back to a meeting.
Why you?
I'm just carrying out orders. You don't have to make a federal case out of it.
This is important. I'll get in touch with you later.
All right, Frank.
Come on.
Such a temper. What do you feed him back there, raw meat? What'd you want me to do? Tell those two goons I let you stay in the dressing room? I have to look right when I get on that floor, and Gordy Shea sure would have changed the way I look. Won't lie to you, Frank, I'm afraid of him. Scared to death.
Chris Parker will tell him I threw a pass at you.
Doesn't bother him. Long as I don't catch it.
All right, then you better start deciding which team you're on.
I have to be afraid of you, too.
Maybe you do. If you don't go along with me, just get out of my way, because I'm not going to stop and you may get hurt.
Doesn't anybody mean anything to you?
You like your privacy.
Don't you like me liking privacy? It's the front door.
There's community property in this state.
Well, here's to your success, Frank. The deal went through okay without a change. Now you're one of us.
Best news I ever drank to.
You know, oil is only one of our businesses. There's a lot involved. So don't get any fancy ideas of your own. I'll take orders, and you'll take orders. Clear?
Sure.
Good. Now then, give us a rundown on how you expect to proceed with this.
Well, the first thing we do is start buying off the foreman.
Good morning, Mr. Duncan.
Good morning.
Mr. Marshall had an appointment with you.
Come in, Marshall.
You were able to complete my order?
With one exception. The price will be $14 a barrel.
You told me 11. Crude oil is selling at $2.96 a barrel, and you want 14.
There are expenses I didn't count on.
Well, I don't know what I'll tell my government.
Tell them to raise the taxes. That'll take care of me fine. The tanker will leave tomorrow night. Your first shipment will arrive in 10 days.
You'll have your cash payment before then.
Come in.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Louie. Is that another new suit?
Yeah. Claire picked it out. Hey, get a load of this. It says here you can drill a well sideways. Diagonal drilling. What are they trying to slip me?
Now, that book's on the level. You can drill in one spot and hit a pool more than a mile away.
It was like making a four the hard way. Any papers for me?
Those trucking contracts.
Hey, we must be doing pretty good business with all these papers I have to sign.
About the way I figured.
I'll bring these back later. Will you get up? Contracts. And you want to know something? None of them are any good unless I got my John Hancock on them. How's business at my old stand at the Shamrock?
Well, we ain't handing out cigars like these.
You want to know the secret of my success? Study. Books. Tell that to your kids, and they can be big men, just like me.
Yeah?
Mr. Shea to see you.
Well, send him in. No, have him wait a minute. Have him come in. Where's Atlas?
Atlas turned the oil operation over to me. Well, you'll still be running it. I'll just be double checking.
I'm a bad teacher, Shea. Don't expect to learn how to run it from me.
You said you wanted to see Atlas for a huddle. What did you want?
I've got a new gimmick.
Gimmick? Well, what are you talking about?
If we can sink our own main line direct to our own refineries down at the docks, we can have a steady flow and eliminate a lot of slow hauling by trucks.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be. What'll it take?
Line pipe. But we can't go into the open market for it. Too many questions to be asked.
So how do we get it?
The same way we get the oil. Hijack it. I'll need a half dozen good boys for the job.
We got 'em.
I don't mean trigger boys. I don't want any rough stuff. If someone has to be pushed, we push them, but that's all.
Look, what are you worried about?
Murders blow up a storm. I don't want a storm.
I'll have the men at the club tomorrow night. You tell them what to do, all right?
Tomorrow night.
Well, you see, Duncan, I'm learning already.
The sign's still lit.
How long are we going to have to wait here?
You heard Duncan. We don't do anything till that sign goes out.
I don't know how you did it, Frank, but almost overnight you went from driller to big businessman.
Not overnight. I've been making my plans for years. The right time just came.
Hey, if it ain't Frank Duncan.
The big business typhoon.
Tycoon, you dope.
Typhoon. You ever heard that windy gab of his?
Still pushing the night shift, huh?
Yeah, fast hauls. Hey, coffee magic, make it hurry up. We got a schedule.
Make sure all they get is coffee. Have a seat.
That's it. Sign's out.
I hope those other guys are waiting at the warehouse.
Thanks a lot, man.
Sure.
See you soon, man.
Go on.
I thought we weren't supposed to use any guns.
No, Shay thought different, especially since Duncan will be blamed for it.
Miss Dankard,
Yes, Mr. Costin?
get reservations for me. I'm leaving for Houston immediately.
I'm sorry, Inspector. Neither those guys I saw in the photographs that Mr. Talbot showed me at the Railroad Commission, nor any of those in the lineup are the ones who did the job.
All right, Mr. Lucas, you could go. Be sure to stay where we can reach you in a hurry in case we need you.
Sure will.
That pipe wouldn't be good for many things other than oil. Maybe there's something starting in the fields that we don't know about.
Such as?
Organized theft of oil itself. Now, of course, there's always a certain amount of pilferage, but the Railroad Commission manages to keep it at a minimum. A mass operation would be something else.
Wouldn't the oil companies know if they were losing oil in large amounts?
Gauges can be altered by crooked foremen. Illegal tapping of government lines can be done underneath the ground 10 feet. Now, we'd have to dig up the whole field to find the tap.
All right, Mr. Lucas. Every joint in Houston will be put under surveillance. The Canadian and the Mexican police will be notified of our reports so they can be on the lookout in case these hijackers have tried to cross the border somewhere.
I'll follow through on my end. If we can locate that stolen pipe before it's used, then we'll have a starting point. I'll keep in touch with you.
Right.
I gave you a warning, Atlas, but apparently that wasn't enough. A man has been murdered, and now there'll be a full-scale investigation.
No, it was an accident, that trigger-happy barker.
Now, wait a minute, Paul. Let's put the responsibility where it belongs, huh? Duncan handled the hijacking. I gave him explicit orders there was to be no shooting.
Is that right, Duncan?
I'm a new man in your organization, Mr. Constant. I'm not in it to make any trouble. This time I'm going to make it.
If we can sink our own main line direct to our own refineries down at the docks, we can have a steady flow and eliminate a lot of slow hauling by trucks.
What are you trying to pull?
Could be.
I'm going to
Well,
dump
okay.
you, Shay, right in Mr. Constant's lap.
We can't go into the open market for it. Too many questions to be asked.
So how do we get it?
Same way we get the oil. Hijack it. I'll need a half-dozen good boys for the job.
We got him.
I don't mean trigger boys. I don't want any rough stuff. Someone has to be pushed, we push him.
Good enough,
That's
Mr.
all.
Constant?
What are you worried about? Look, it's
Murder's
a trick.
blow up a storm.
Duncan's pulling a fast one.
Gordy wouldn't lie. He's a good man for us.
That'll be all, Atlas. You're through, Shay. Duncan, you take over his spot.
Just like that. Just like that, I'm through, huh?
Gordy!
Let me alone! I'm gonna tell you a couple of things, Constant.
Don't talk tough to Mr. Constant. He gets excited. Can't help it. Don't make it hard for me.
Shay, I've known Paul a long time. Ordinarily, your life wouldn't be worth much. This time, I'm going to let Paul decide what to do with you. But you'll never know, Shay, never, when I might change my mind. Now get out. He's a fool, Paul.
Why did you make that recording?
Shay has weak spots. Talking too much is one of them.
So you knew all the time that you'd trip him up sometime, somehow.
I knew he'd trip himself up.
I admire ambition, Duncan. But ambition is best when it's mellowed with age and experience, like good whiskey. You can't always make your own spots.
I'm a company man, Mr. Constant. If I'm ambitious, it's because I want to help better the organization.
Of course.
Should I still go ahead with my plan?
Yes?
Well, the one place I know that'd be right for us is the Excelsior refinery owned by Mr. Gallup. I'll see what kind of a deal our president, Mr. Phelan, can make.
Just make sure you keep that pipe hidden until things cool off a bit. Shay is in your hands, Paul. If I were you, I wouldn't let sentiment interfere too much. I'll check with you later, Duncan.
Sure, Mr. Constance. Louis.
Yeah, Frank?
The Excelsior refinery deal is okay. Go see Gallup and try to buy it. Our top price is 50,000.
I'll leave right away.
Call me at the house later. Let me know what happened. Yeah? Zoe, what is it?
Frank, I have to see you tonight. Never mind the show. I told Gordy I was sick. No, not at your place.
The observation roof of the Justice Building. What have you been drinking?
Frank, I'm serious. Look, it's about 6 now, and I can be at the tower by 10:30. Yeah. Yeah, good. And Frank, I need $25,000 tonight. I'll pay you back next week, every cent of it.
25 grand? What's the devil so important? That's a lot of money. Sure, I've got it here, but... Okay, I won't ask more questions. Yeah, see you at 10:30.
You did fine.
Don't kill him, Chris.
Yeah? It's you, Louis. Hey, that's bad. We need that refinery. Are you sure he won't sell? All right, I'll try to figure something out. No, not tonight. I'll see you in the morning. I've got something to do.
Hello, Duncan. Zoe couldn't come. She's all tied up.
What did you do to her?
Like I said, she's all tied up with a big fat rope so she couldn't get away to warn you.
You didn't dare touch her.
Do I look like the kind that hurts girls?
Shay sent you and the other guys across the border. What are you doing here?
You know, I don't know how, Duncan, but the heat's on down there, too. I just got out with my skin. Now it looks like I'll have to blow the country. South America, maybe.
And you think my 25 grand will pay the way, is that it?
Yeah. You know, I like you, Duncan. I wouldn't want to see the cops start to find out things about you. You know how the cops are. They got a hold of me and I didn't tell them what they want to know. They wouldn't like me. My psychiatrist says I should make people like me.
And what are you coming to me for the dough? Why don't you ask Atlas or Shay?
I just got through telling you. I like you, Duncan.
Yeah. You like me. What if I don't give you the dough?
You know, I've never killed a friend in my life. I guess there has to be a first time for everything.
You'll get out of the country.
Sure. Never seen Rio, for instance.
Better be Rio or a place just as far.
Don't come up with anything that ain't green, pal.
count it.
Why, so you can try jumping me? No, it's all there. 25 grand, just what Zoe asked for. But you know what, Duncan? I was only kidding. Yeah. You're not smart. You're a sucker. You're not gonna leave here alive. I heard what you did to Shay.
In that case, you're going to have a tough time trying to cash those blank pieces of paper.
No, Gertie!
Take it easy, kid. Take it easy.
Oh, Frank.
Don't bother, Duncan. Shame. She was a good-looking kid. She had no taste. Put her down. Put her down. Everything's been loused up because of you, Duncan, son of...
Duncan! Duncan, stop it! You're killing him.
All right, give Zoe a gun and let her do it.
Gordy did this?
What do you think you raised, a choir boy?
Well, that's why I came here. I couldn't find Gordy anywhere. I thought he'd try something like this.
He sent Barker to kill me. When that didn't work, he tried it himself. Oh, Constant's going to love the whole routine.
No, you mustn't tell Constant.
Get some brandy.
Oh, you're giving orders now, eh?
Get it!
Oh, Frank.
You'll be all right.
What did he do?
No, don't try to talk. Right now, I feel like killing Shay, but I'm going to give you a chance to get him off the hook.
My face.
No, there won't be any scars.
Just didn't cut me. Good.
What about Gordy?
I won't lift a finger for him. I'll tell you what the idea is, then you can give Shay his orders.
Not in front of her?
Yes, in front of her.
All right, what is it?
Gallup refuses outright to sell us his refinery. We need that particular one. It's very near the place where most of our ships dock. We'll force him to sell.
How?
All of Gallup's business comes from the Hopkins Company, an independent outfit with 2 wells. If those wells went out of business, so would Gallup. We'll let Shay pull the job. If he pulls it off, I'll put in a pitch for him with Constant.
You'll put in a pitch?
Yes, I will. You don't think he'd listen to you about Shay, do you?
Fall from the Justice Observatory doesn't usually leave much to be identified. Fortunately, however, the facial features are still fairly intact.
Yeah, he was one of the guys, all right. How do you like that?
I've got a rundown on him. His name is Chris Barker. He was a flunky at the King's Arms in Galveston.
Flunky?
That's a hood with a Social Security number.
We've been concentrating on Houston.
You know, Mr. Talbot, Galveston's a very interesting town.
Say, you boys heard about a disturbance going on around here? No, I haven't heard anything.
402. Go ahead, 402.
4-2. 4-2. That report we got on a ride was a windy. Nothing to it.
Hey, that was the Hopkins well.
I might have known you'd be the one to double-cross me. It was you who tipped the cops. You fixed it so that Gordy would be caught.
He's getting better than he deserved. Because sooner or later the mob would kill him or I would. He's in jail now where he's safe. Nobody can get at him.
Yeah, he's in jail, but he thinks I double-crossed him. He thinks I was the one that gave him the orders to blow the wells. You fixed everything fine, Duncan. You certainly fixed it fine, you dirty rat. Let go of me.
Yeah, he's here. It's your lawyer, Wellman.
Oh, Wellman. Yeah, Atlas. What? The police are... The police are after me. Gordy gave him my name. He did that to me? To me?
What do you expect? You double-crossed him and he gave you more of the same.
Yeah, but now I gotta run. I never had to run before. I don't know how to run.
You learn fast when you're being chased, Paulie.
I know. I'll go to Europe. I got friends there, good friends. I can make it. The police were never smarter than Paulie Atlas.
Yes, Mr. Duncan.
Get me St. Louis. Central 12511. Ask for Mr. Constant. Emil Constant.
Mr. Constant? Duncan. Houston.
Well, I'm busy now, but if it's important, go ahead. I see. First Shea and now Atlas. Things are falling apart there fast. All right, Duncan, you take over temporarily. We'll hold a meeting here to decide if you're to run the territory on a permanent basis.
Thank you, Mr. Constant. I'll be waiting to hear from you.
Stokes, Kalo. There's too much trouble in the Southwest Territory. It started with Duncan coming in, and I don't think it will end until Duncan goes out.
How far out you want him to go?
When I detest violence, it's just not good business. Mr. Duncan knows more than is good for us. You'll leave for Houston immediately. And I'll expect to read the results of your visit in the papers.
Oh, you're making me use muscles I didn't even know I had.
Did you ever see yourself while you're singing? Any muscles you don't use, you haven't got.
That's why women were born. Oh. You were right. Gordy didn't give me anything permanent to remember him by.
I told you it'd be all right. You feel sorry for Shay.
Ask me again. Any more questions?
Shay didn't get anything you didn't ask for. When you want a top spot, you gotta be able to hold on to it.
You trying to convince me or yourself?
I'm the big boy now. Nobody's gonna get me out.
Sure, baby, sure. Only now that you have everything, you can quit.
Everything?
Have money, power, you have me. You're still young enough to enjoy it. You're a lucky guy.
You gotta have brains to be lucky.
Right. But where do you go from here?
What are you talking about?
I want to stay lucky.
You're scared.
So are you, or you wouldn't be talking about it.
Me?
Look, Frank, we've had our cards on the table since the beginning. We're not a couple of kids with a lot of fancy dreams. There are plenty of places where we can go to get our kicks. It doesn't have to be here.
You're scared. I'm not. Think I'm gonna run out just when Constance made me the big boy?
He can also make you a small boy or no boy at all.
Are you out of your mind?
What more do we need? Look, why hang around daring somebody to knock you off your perch? Let's get out while we still have our necks.
The sun's too hot. It's gone to your head.
Frank, listen to me.
I did listen. Let's make believe I never heard what you said.
I just got the contracts back. How about that crazy guy Gallup? One day he says nothing could make him sell. Next day he can't clear out fast enough.
Good thing for us. Well, I'll look them over and you can sign them later.
Oh, Clara says they keep you from getting a cold.
How is she? Happy?
She has a mink coat. You know, she's a good-looking dame in a mink coat. I'll put these in the file. You can go to lunch, honey.
Thank you.
Duncan will be alone in there now.
My name is Stokes. This is Mr. Kalo. How's the chances of seeing Frank Duncan?
You fellas got an appointment?
Yeah, we got kind of an appointment, you might say.
Well, I'll check, see if he's in. Frank Duncan in? There's a Mr. Stokes and a Mr. Kalo here to see him.
No, I haven't seen him, but I'll check and let you know. Louis, find out what they want. Keep your intercom switch open.
Okay, Steve. I'll take care of it. Sorry, but Mr. Duncan doesn't seem to be around right now.
In that case, maybe we better take a look ourselves.
Well, now, wait a minute. Maybe you didn't hear what I said.
Look, we haven't got much time. Our business is with Duncan, not with you. Now stay out of the way and you won't get hurt. Take a look in those offices.
Are you nuts? Put that gun away. No!
Hello, Zoe. Frank. Just listen to me. Don't talk. Something's gone wrong. Constance sent a couple of hoods down from St. Louis to get me. And we gotta get out of here in a hurry. I don't want to go back to my apartment because they may pick me up. Now pack your things in a hurry and meet me here in Houston at the Derrick Cafe. Yeah, they'll never find me there. I'll drive around till dark. Yeah, 8:30 you'll be fine. I'll see you later.
I've looked all over. He's not around.
Keep your mouth shut about this. The boss will take care of you, too.
Hello. Give me the police. Hurry it up. Inspector Gregg. Hello? Inspector Gregg. This is Louis Phelan.
Yes? What's this about gangsters wanting to kill Frank Duncan? Yeah? Yeah, I see. We'll get them, Mr. Phelan. And we'll also get your Duncan. And a cozy character named Constant in St. Louis. We've got enough on this mob to run them all in. You know where I can find Duncan?
No. I don't know. What do you want with Frank? He hasn't done anything.
Sorry, Mr. Phelan. We're busy. Goodbye.
What's the matter with those guys? I gotta get down there. See them cops.
She doesn't answer.
Keep ringing. If anybody knows where Duncan is, it'll be her.
Hello?
Zoe? Don Stokes. Duncan just cleared out. We thought you might have been stupid enough to go with him.
What's the matter, Donzie, old boy? Hadn't you heard? Once a carry hamper, always a carry hamper. What can I do for you, honey? Want some nice fresh bullets or something?
You being smart?
Me smart? Frank thought I was a sucker. He thought I'd just pack up and run away with him.
Where is he?
And then after I tell you, you'll kill me anyway. 'Cause I'll know that you killed Frank, huh? That's the way you are, Donzie, old boy. No loose ends.
Tell us where he is, you crazy dame.
Hello? Hello?
Madge. I've got to talk to you.
Madge, I'm in a jam, a bad one. I've got to get out of the country.
Frank.
I'm asking, will you come with me? We'll be on the run.
I'll go. It's better to have you that way than not at all.
Oh, we'll do all right. And look, I can't get back to the apartment because some guys may be watching, but you can go. Get some of my clothes. Now, here's the combination to the wall safe. There's close to $100,000 in it. The keys are in my car. It's 10 after 7. I can be back here by 8 o'clock.
Duncan will have to come here sooner or later. We'll be waiting.
Well, it looks like more than one of us got the same idea.
How did you get in here?
Same way you did. You're from the Derrick Cafe. I suppose Frank didn't tell you about me.
He sent me here to get his clothes and his money. Frank and I are going away together.
He tell you that? That's what I've always liked about Frank. He's a real stinker. Look, honey, for your own sake, you might as well know Frank's waiting for me at that hash house, not you.
You're lying.
You know I'm not. Doesn't matter, I'm not going to meet him anyway. Mob's after him now, and the cops will soon be after him, too. He's finished. I can't afford to latch on to has-beens. I guess he owes me this much, though. Don't go with him. I know how to throw those things away. You don't.
Okay, Zoe, let's have a talk.
Let me go. You're not gonna kill me.
Whatever gave you an idea like that? We want Duncan, that's all.
You let me go.
Sure, Zoe. I told you. Constance just wants Duncan out of the way.
Let me go.
He's at the Derrick Cafe. He's waiting for me there.
You better not be lying.
I'm not, I swear.
That's just fine, Zoe. Derrick Cafe, and make it quick.
Give me police headquarters, please. Hello? I'd like to talk to someone about Frank Duncan.
Inspector Gregg speaking. Duncan? Yeah? Thanks, lady. The Derrick Cafe? You've just saved the state a lot of money. Located Duncan. Get every available man.
Frank. Frank. It's Louis. Don't start anything. The cops are all around. Frankie, don't get yourself killed. Frankie, listen to me. You've hurt enough people already.